broke down on the Bristol Rovers game, so we had to get the fucking train down. They got us there 15 minutes after the game had already kicked off.
So the car broke down, you left the car to go to Blues?
Yeah.
That is dedication, mate. Fantastic.
Messing around, sitting at home. Yes. We're going down to the Blues. We made the plans.
Blues, mate.
And then the other day as well.
Blues legend.
You're right, mate.
One message to the Blue now, for me.
Keep right on.
The Blues. Come on.
Keep right on.
Keep right on. Hey, Ian. Keep right on, baby.
That's the fucking Blues. Keep right on.
Come on, you Blue boys.
Keep right on.
Keep right on.
What's going on, Blue Noses? It's me again, the boy in blue, back with another video. I hope you're all okay. And joining me on this podcast today is a Blues focused legend, Tommy. How you doing, son?
Good afternoon, mate. How are we?
I'm all right, thanks, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Not too bad. Welcoming in the new year with a bit of darts. Been watching that lately. It's been very good. And a bit of work as well. Well, mostly work, actually. I've not been had time to really get away from anything, really. I watched the game yesterday, but yeah, we'll talk about that a bit later, won't we?
Did you go to the game or did you watch it on telly? Or
no, I couldn't. Could I? I was like, got to gold, I think, in the end of the ticket things, and we were like trying to buy the tickets, and then it just kept messing up with all the the payments in terms of where you're trying to get through to the ticket office. So that was a bit annoying. So we'll try and get that sorted out soon. But we are going to Wigan on Saturday, providing that it's on still. Because
same here. It'd be good to see you, mate. To be honest,
yeah.
Good to meet up with you, mate. Try and meet me because I haven't seen you yet, like in the flesh. It'd be good to get you on a vlog and stuff. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Give me a ring when you're there, like, and I'll come and shake your dad's hand and your brother's hand. So are they all right as well?
They're great, man. Yeah, they're going well. New year and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
Good. Yeah, make sure you give me a text on the Wigan game. So I'm going up there. Be good to see you all and stuff. We haven't spoke. We've just done about this, haven't we? We haven't spoke since we lost to Shrewsbury when Gary Ainsworth took that job role as their manager, resulting in Blues losing. It was 3-2 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got one back at the end with Stansfield getting a penalty.
Yeah. So it's been like literally like we were saying, it was just under 2 months or just over. So we haven't spoke for a while. So we got a lot to catch up on. But since that game, Blues are unbeaten in 9. We haven't lost. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, really, like, and what you think of what's happened in the last few weeks.
So obviously, like 9 games undefeated is fantastic. I mean, we won 8 of those, didn't we? So like in the league, this is at least, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 9 games, 8 wins, 1 draw. I think the football has been a little bit stale in terms of like the spectators' point of view, but in reality, like, a win's a win when it comes to these type of things. And yesterday was disappointing because it did look a bit like a Blues of old in the second half. We didn't really grab hold of the game very well. I think Stockport had like a real good go at it in the second half as well. But I think a lot of the reaction in terms of Chris Davies, people getting annoyed with him and everything, is a bit over the top, really. I understand that yesterday the second half wasn't great, but there again, like League One, it's like the standards aren't great itself, because it's a tricky league to get out of, and it's going to be a tough league. So the standards of football, if you're wanting like that amazing football going in, week in, week out, then this ain't elite level football. This is League One football, so it's not going to be the prettiest. It's not going to be the most entertaining at times. People like to romanticize it a little bit with playing these little smaller teams down in the lower leagues, but like at the end of the day as well, it can be a bit crap sometimes. So we've just got to roll with the punches at the moment, I suppose, really, because like we're second in the league. Wycombe won yesterday. The football.
I can't believe they won again.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Them scoring at the end every fucking week.
No, they find the way to scrap out those wins, don't they? And they're overperforming, aren't they? And like Wycombe and Wrexham, years ago. I mean, Wycombe probably about this level they probably should be at, but even still, like Wrexham and those type of teams are massively overperforming, and we're underperforming. You know what I mean? Like we should be in the championship.
Something's
towards the top of the table, and that.
Something's got to give, like, somewhere in terms of unlocking the potential of what this squad can actually do. I know that money doesn't always guarantee you success. Like, for example, just as an example, I like using this one because everybody keeps giving us stick for spending 15 million. But then you've got a team who's spending like over $1 billion, i.e. Chelsea, and, they aren't even like anywhere near the top 6, are they? So,
done well.
Money doesn't always guarantee you success, but
the
players that we have, the technology that we've got to source these players, I think that something is going to unlock us. Don't forget, it's a brand new manager. Chris Davies, it's his first managerial role, and from the stats that we've already got, which I'm going to show you in a minute, which is going to blow your head, he's actually better than Wayne Rooney's managerial role. I mean, obviously, he's just left Plymouth as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, that is in like the whole of his managerial career.
Yeah.
So,
Davies
like,
is
in every single aspect. Bloody Nora. That man, honestly, he doesn't need a football. He doesn't need to be a manager anymore, does he?
He needs to go into punditry, mate, and just fuck it off. Either non-league or punditry.
I'd start in the darts or something like that. Just go and do something
the
completely
darts,
different.
Yeah, man. Give it the score, man.
Yeah. Christ.
But yeah, I think that this team, something's going to give. But like I was trying to say, it's a new squad, new players. But I think I agree with what you're saying about the football being a bit stale. But the way we're passing the ball around, it's absolutely phenomenal. Some of these passes, like they're passing the ball, one twitch moving, and they're not even looking at the players half the time. And it's nice that they know where they are. They're finding each other and stuff. But for me, my only criticism is creating chances. I don't think that we're creating enough chances.
I think yesterday
that's
was
my only criticism.
Yeah, I think yesterday was a good example of that. And also yesterday we were a little bit sloppy in terms of the way we were just passing the ball about, but the surface didn't look great. It was like poor conditions. But still, like players like Paik and Bielik, they couldn't seem to lace a 2-yard pass yesterday. So I don't really know what was going on there. It was a bit of an off day for them. I mean, at the end as well, like when Bielik's playing like a blind pass to Allsop and they're playing.
He's done that a few times, mate.
Yeah, just honestly, it was like
he's done it a few times now. He's got to admit that.
Yeah. So thank God we got away with that. Thank God for 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒄 just nipping in at the nick of time, honestly, because that would have been the winner for them had he not been there, really, honestly. Cause
I mean, I love Bielik, but
I do
like Bielik, but he's got to nip that in the bud. If you're going to pass it back to the keeper, you've got to put a bit behind it because, we can't afford to. If you're not creating enough chances as it is, we're going to give the opposition a free run on goal, then.
Yeah, I just didn't see anybody yesterday. It was the thing, like with Alfie May, scored the goal and everything. I think that first sort of 10-15 minutes, we were looking like our usual selves, really. We're just like dominant and, not giving them any time or space at all. But like, it just seemed to disappear after that. Like Jay Stansfield yesterday, I just didn't see him at all. He seemed like Alfie May was like doing a bit of pressing from the front, but then again, it just sort of like just sort of filtered out. And it just looked like he was running around at the top then. But like, yeah, just an off day yesterday, and that's why I worry like with not getting more goals against teams like Burton, teams like Bristol Rovers. It gives teams like this confidence to come and play us, so that gave them the confidence to go and get that equaliser, and probably could have won it had they not left it a bit too late. But I worry when we play Wycombe again, when we play Wrexham again, just like if we're not putting teams to bed, like we play Wigan at the weekend, that might be a tricky game. They're a half decent side. We've got Huddersfield coming up soon as well, so those teams are going to be gearing up with confidence, we're winning, and we will beat the teams towards the bottom of the table, no doubt about it. Not every game's going to be a Shrewsbury game, but we've got to put them away convincingly, in my opinion, just to show those teams like Wrexham and Wycombe back off, basically give us the respect that we need, because we'll put you to bed otherwise, and we need to do that. We need to really put our foot down on it and everything.
I mean, I don't know how you felt, but when that first half at Stockport, like, just going off the game as a whole, I thought that was a brilliant game of football from Blues and Stockport. Like, both teams playing from the back, because what I've found this season is, like, whether you agree with it or you disagree about playing from the back, when you're up against an opposition that doesn't play that kind of formation and that style, it's kind of hard to get into the game and really analyse what's going on, because you got one team that's trying to keep the ball down, you got one team that's hoofing it up the pitch. But it was really good to see that both teams was just getting the ball down, both pressing each other. It was end to end the first half. It was brilliant. Blues playing it around the Stockport players, vice versa. It was a really entertaining game of football. But second half, I don't know what had happened, but we was lucky to get a draw in the end. But Stockport, there was really pressing. So You know, I mean, their manager. I mean, credit to them changing
They're a
their
good
style.
side, yeah.
They didn't play that, did they?
No,
When we played them at Blues,
I
no,
can't
so they've
remember.
changed their style.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name now. The manager, what's his name? It's not Chris. Steve
Chandler, isn't it?
Dave Chandler. That's it. Yes, I knew.
Yeah.
I had it on my tip of my tongue. I kept thinking it was the other guy, but it's not. Dave Conlon, he's the assistant manager, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I remember when they came to ours and we beat them 2-0, that they felt really confident after that, and they thought, you know what, we could give them a game on Boxing Day, and they did, you know, and definitely in the second half. So I feel like they sort of have learnt from that first game and that first encounter where they're just learning how we play. So yeah, it's just those things really for me that at the moment, like finishing, like you're saying, creating chances, don't seem to do that.
That's my only criticism, mate.
Yeah,
There's so many positives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like, you know, like towards the start of the season and when we got relegated, sort of that in between bit. Honestly, like, I genuinely, I don't think that I wasn't confident at all. I didn't know where we were going. Didn't know what the vibe was around the club. So like before Davies was even appointed, it was like there's nothing. Honestly, there was literally nothing in terms of like.
Well, none of us did really.
No.
When I was the same, we haven't seen it. Like
it,
I've in our lifetime.
Yeah, if it had told me then that this is where we'd be by New Year's, I'd be like, oh, thank God, you know, like we actually are going to stay on track. But like, football forgets really quickly, don't they? And they'll forget very quickly if we win really convincingly on Saturday, won't they? Because like this game will just be like one for the past, really. So I just hope that we start scoring some more goals, because the easy scapegoat at the moment for people who don't like this. Who don't like not winning, because who doesn't like not winning? The easy scapegoat at the moment is to blame the passing around the back and the sort of possession-based football, which has been working. You know, has been convincingly working. Just the fact that we haven't scored many other goals, really. But yeah, I don't blame people for not liking possession-based football. I don't like possession-based football. I really don't. You know, if I was offered to watch, I don't know, like some fast counter-attacking football, breaking on each other all the time, or this, you know, like prime Barcelona or prime Man City sort of possession-based football, I'd watch the counter-attacking football, because that's just so much more interesting. It's like from a spectator's point of view, you know, that's fantastic to watch, you know, and flying tackles going in and everywhere. That's why games like the Old Firm are still like fantastic to watch, because they're just like so intense and so built up for all that type of football. So like, yeah, it's not entertaining football, but you know, when you've seen it from like a business strategy and a business point of view, we want to win games, and it's been working so far. And you can't say it hasn't been, because we're second in the league. We're top earlier in the week.
We joined top with second, didn't we, on goal difference?
Yeah, and I would like us to start to pull away from Wycombe, because I do think we are the much better team. I think the players that we've got are far superior. You know, players like Stansfield and May. They just need to.
And that's not like an arrogance thing, by the way, for people that are watching.
Not at all.
It's just genuine, you know.
That's what I mean. Like when we were saying earlier, like, you know, Wycombe are overperforming. You know, they're exceeding their expectations of where they should be. So are Wrexham and everything. We're underperforming. So, you know, for us to say that we've you know, like got a better squad and everything, I don't think that's arrogance at all. I feel like
you got to take it. Well, you got to take into consideration as well. If you've got injuries, now the games are coming thick and fast. You know, look how many games we played in the space of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now they're tired as well.
I think that is good, because what's troubled us in the past, particularly with other teams that we've had, is when the football stops and then we have an international break. I mean, like the best example is like a couple of seasons ago with John Eustace. Like we're just outside the playoffs, got the World Cup coming up all of a sudden, had a couple of weeks off and everything, and the rest of the season was absolutely diabolical. Honestly, we looked terrible, and the players didn't really change. We didn't get many other different players in, apart from like one or two loans in and everything. And you look at us from like this international break, obviously when we've gone from playing Shrewsbury to this point here, we've just been back to back to back. Honestly, we didn't lose a game in December. We won every single one apart from one. So like the fact that we are playing games is good, you know. And I've seen with other Blues teams in the past when we just keep on playing and playing the same team as well. McLeish and his team in 2010, honestly, like we went 12 games undefeated at home when in the Premier League and finished 9th, and we had the same team playing consistently week in, week out, and we flew. And that's exactly what's happening with this team. It's just that the football's not that entertaining, honestly. If it was like fast counter-attacking football and we won those games exactly the same way, we'd absolutely be fine with it. But it's just because it's a bit slower, a bit more lethargic at times. And apart from maybe taking on a few chances, like you say, that's just it, really. But like,
that's my only criticism. I just don't feel that we're creating enough chances. And yesterday, I felt sorry for Alfie, mate, really, because it was a cracking goal. And like to take a point, I know that Stockport had piled the pressure on, but it was more so the way that 𝒂𝒄𝒉 scored that goal. And you know, I mean, if we got the 3 points, you know, we're brilliant. But I mean, that's another thing, you know, just going 1-0 up, like we got to try and nip that in the bud. Then we got to score more goals. But I mean, apart from that, you know, there's so many positives. And then just the injuries, you know, Buchanan, I hope he's all right, because that's a nasty injury.
Yeah, he's gone out for the season now, isn't he?
Yeah, Hansen as well. He's gone. 𝒂𝒄𝒉 as well, which I really miss because I love 𝒂𝒄𝒉.
He's
Cracking
well
signing.
in this league, hasn't
Yeah, he has, mate. Superb.
Last season he was a bit tricky because it was like whether he was quite the championship level, but I think he is more than capable of being a better player than that. He's definitely top end League One type of player. It's just whether he's like quite up to the standards of the championship, I'm not entirely sure. But he works hard, and he worked hard last season as well. So you can't deny that he's a grafter and everything. It's just that little bit of ability sometimes. I think, you know, just like he's like just on the ball ability and sort of booking about really and taking things on. But everybody does that as well. We don't take on enough shots or anything really.
Yeah, but I think hopefully that's something that Davies can work on as the weeks go on. But I think like with 𝒂𝒄𝒉, he's like a perfect example about having the right people around you to shine, you know, and succeed. And I think last season he was still one of my favourite players, despite, you know, the season we had last season. It was a shit show, wasn't it? It was a roller coaster of emotions, up and down. Different managers. Like, I mean, I lost count how many managers we had. It was ridiculous, weren't it?
How many did we have in the end? It was like
six, and then you had like some standing managers as well in between. So it was probably more than that. I think I counted 7. I think.
So it was Eustace, Rooney, Mowbray, Mark Venus,
Spooner as well. He had a few games, didn't he?
Spooner as well. God.
Yeah, Spooner.
We like, honestly. Hopefully that's gone now. That never come back this type of season.
But with 𝒂𝒄𝒉 and the squad that we had, you know, he stayed with Blues. He stayed with us, and I think, you know, he's really come out his shell this season. You know, the players that we brought in, and in my opinion, it's shown. You know, there's games where we scored goals that we've won because of 𝒂𝒄𝒉.
Yeah.
Some of the balls he's played into the box, some of his through balls, the way he's taking on players. I think he's a lot more confident as well when he's with the ball. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
I think that's just proof of having the right people around you to shine.
It's tricky at the moment, isn't it? Because I think the biggest issue we've got in terms of who we fit in where is that sort of right back and left back role at the moment. Obviously, Cochrane's going to come back into that left back role for now. But then, like, I don't know, it's the back line for me at times, really, because like with Bielik's performance the other day, like, do we consider maybe playing him in a different role? I mean, we probably can't drop him because he's club captain and everything.
I think he plays better in defence than he does in centre mid, to be honest, mate.
It just depends.
In my opinion,
though, like, it depends. Like where, like in a 5 or a 4, do you then play Laird in that 4? Do you play Gardner Hitman, who I thought didn't really work going forward all that too much really yesterday? I think he needed to sort of maintain just in like a back 4 really. But there again, I think that's the only difficult bit for us at the moment, in terms of the way we set up, you know. But I think Ben Davies is definite name on the sheet, you know.
100%.
Never puts a foot wrong. I think Cochrane was at fault.
Just switched on. He switched on, and he knows where the players are going to go before they even play the ball. He's on it, like, and he's that's what you need. You need players like Ben Davies.
He's got that. He's just got that experience, hasn't he, in the championship? You know, he's played for Preston for however how many long. He also played for Rangers and Liverpool as well. Apparently, I don't really remember him at Liverpool at all. I don't think he got many games, but he's got that experience at least to mop up at the back really, and just I haven't seen him put a foot wrong at all really. I'm just gonna share this as well, because when we touched on about, like, I mean, what social media is like, I kind of go off the games week by week, so like I'll probably be in like a bit of a mood if it doesn't go well, like just for the day, then, you know, forget about it. So I've got some stats up for the people that are calling for Chris Davies. I can't even believe we're having this conversation, mate, to be honest. No, it's honestly, man,
It's unreal, but this is for the ones that are calling for his head, because these stats are unreal. And the good thing about today is you've got the world at the palm of your hands, haven't you, like, in terms of researching things and finding stuff. So we had, right, if we go to the top, so got your columns here, look. You got win, drew, and loss, and then your win percent ratio, right? So we're just going to get it to the start of last season and where Davies. So we had Eustace. So he won 21, drew 16, lost 26 with a 33.3%.
It's not bad really for his, like, considering he was, in a tough time with Blues financially as well. Yeah, so fair play to you, just to be fair.
This is the best one. Rooney, 2 wins, 4 draws, 9 losses with a 13.3%.
How many was Zola? How many wins was Zola?
Zola. Where is he?
He's 2 as well. 8.3.
8.3. So he was worse than Rooney.
So he had 24 games though. How many did Rooney have? He had, oh my God, that's even less.
15.
15. That's shocking, that is.
Spooner, he was only there for 1 game, wasn't he? So we can't really count Spooner. And he's good with the under 21.
What game was that? Do you remember? The Steve Spooner one?
Might have been Hull, I think. It was Hull City, wasn't it?
January 2nd to 8th, it might have been, yeah. I don't remember that at all.
Mowbray. I reckon if we would have had Mowbray and he didn't go off sick, we would have stayed up, I reckon, personally.
Oh, easily. Absolutely easily.
Yeah. So he had a 50% win ratio. Mark Venus, 6 games in charge, drew 1, lost 5 with a 0% win ratio. Rowett, 8 in charge, 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, 37.5% win ratio. And then Davies, I mean, look at this, mate. 30 games, 21 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses with a 70% win ratio. So the proof's in the pudding. I mean, how you can even,
yeah, and that's not
mention that, to be honest, is just unreal. And
obviously it's a lower division than all of the managers, but like the way that he is, I think the thing is with Davies, like he might play a little bit slow football at times, and he might be a little bit naive and a bit inexperienced. But I just like him as a bloke as well. He seems like
passionate, mate.
Yeah, he gets the team. It's a bit
like
Eustace. It's a bit like Eustace in that way. The fact that he was quite. He obviously worked well with the players and everyone got along with him. I think Bowie had a bit of a difficult time with some of the players and didn't really unite the audience dressing room very well. But I think though, like just that sort of way that he's a little bit better than Eustace as a coach because of where else he's been. He's been with Brendan Rodgers for a lot of time. He was at Swansea with him. He was with him at Liverpool and Celtic as well. And then a bit with Postecoglou as well with Spurs.
Yeah.
I think with Eustace, however, like he was with Mark Warburton at QPR, wasn't he? And it just had a bit of a football career. But Davies didn't have a football career. He had a coaching career. So if we're basing it off of that, really, like, the guy's going to learn, and he's going to understand. He's got a January transfer window coming up as well now. So it's interesting to see who's going to get in that time. There's loads of players.
Think we're going to bring any players in?
Yeah, we've got a few, haven't we? I think I can't remember if the Redmond deal is still going ahead or anything. I think there's still a little bit of buzz about that. Then there's Newman as well, the German defender who looks pretty decent as well. I got to be honest, I don't know too much entirely about those type of signings.
There's like a few guys usually on all the transfer news.
That ain't me. That is.
Oh, it's not.
Ain't me. No, I just do the videos, mate. Honestly, it's the guys on Twitter do all that stuff, so I'll leave them to that. Really, whatever they like to do, really. But yeah, I think it's interesting though, isn't it? Sort of like how people get frustrated about Davies, isn't it? Because like, I don't blame them, because everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whether if you're going to start giving advice to Chris Davies, however, like there's a fine line, but there's a difference. You know what I mean? So like having an opinion on Blues, you can absolutely say whatever you like. But then when people I see on social media who seems to be giving an opinion, like giving advice to him, say like, "Oh, do this, do that," if I was Chris Davies, like, well, no, mate, he's a proper football coach. He's been about the block and the different teams and everything. He's still a very young manager.
Look at the teams he's been with, like you say.
It's his first proper managerial role. Like no one. I'm not in the right position to be giving him advice. Honestly, no one is apart from the people in that sort of industry. And exactly so as well. The guy's got the best.
But it's a project, though, isn't it? The whole thing is a project. Like, what defines a project, Tommy? What is the definition of a project? Is it something that happens overnight, or is it something that takes time?
I think people it's exactly like that. Yeah, I think that a lot of people, when they work on something, they see an aspiration and they see it within like a couple of days, and they think like, yeah, I want to be like that, but tomorrow I don't want to have like the progress over the time, and that is difficult. I feel like with Blues in particular, over the last few years, not the fans, obviously, the club itself have had like aspirations to do lots of things. I think this is mostly BSHL. They've gone like, we want to be this, and then we want to do it tomorrow, and it want to happen tomorrow. But United have come in and they've seen that this is a fucking long project to do. You know what I mean? Like all the things they talk about in the open house and everything, you've got to take your time with it. And you know, Blues fans, they're going to have to take the time with it. Me myself as well. I don't like the fact that we are drawing away at Stockport and playing boring football, but you know, I can moan about it all I like, but if we win win against Wigan on the weekend, then I'm going to forget about it, so that's all that really matters, really. I'm not even going to go at the Blues fans for being upset.
No.
Yesterday as well,
Oh,
you know, it was shit.
100%.
I didn't enjoy it at all, but you know,
it's just with Blues. It's just Blues with me. Like the fans make the club for me. Like before the football team, mate. The fans, mate. I absolutely love the Blue Houses, mate. There's no fan base like you, but I think with the Blues fans, like we've had years of shit, and like you say, the BSHL era and stuff. Like we used to that. Do you know what I mean? And now, like we're changing course. I.e., we're not winning every single game, but you know we joint top. Well, second on goal difference, but joint top on points.
Yeah.
You know what Tom Wagner's doing around the ground and everything else, mate. You know, there's so much positives to take in.
We'll pull away as well soon. I'm absolutely certain of that. You know, like teams like Wycombe are giving a good fight and everything. But I think a couple of games here and there, you know, we'll start to really put the pressure on teams, and we'll keep on winning. I think other teams like Wycombe will slip up. Wrexham are slipping up a little bit as well. They lost yesterday.
Are they?
Are
they going to slip up?
They are. I'm absolutely certain of it. You know, like they can't keep up with the pace. You know, we'll pull away. You know, the players that have had like a bit of a rough couple of games. I didn't think Williamson played particularly well yesterday. I didn't think Bielik played well, or Paik or anybody like that. But like, it's just a couple of games. You know what I mean? Like honestly, we've lost 2 all season, and maybe like a couple here and there. Like honestly, like we're doing absolutely fine. You know, we are going to win the league. We are going to get promoted. I think we'll win the trophy as well, the EFL trophy. I think like. There's good times ahead. It's just January. It's these type of crap games you have to get past sometimes.
I mean, you've just saw the stats that we've just gone through with the managers, mate. And I know, granted, we're in different leagues, but still, there's still 11 people that play football. You know,
I think as well, though, the teams that team that Wayne Rooney had and the team that Rowett and Matt Mowbray had last season, Davis's team would just absolutely wipe the floor with them.
Oh, yeah, mate, definitely.
Easily.
100%.
Of course they would, because like the football we're playing is so much better than what we were playing last season, because it was just like launch it long and hope for the best almost at times, you know. We started with Eustace, where we had like a good sort of a plan of going forward, you know, and like what we were trying to build up for like a good team. It was like a 4-5-1. We had Dembele out on the left and had like Duke coming in at times, you know, and when Jay obviously was signed in just a bit later after that, you know, we started to have like a real good look about us. But then Knighthead obviously made a mistake in appointing Rooney, but like we're back to this point now where we have got an idea of what we want to do. We're not just like playing around and doing whatever and just put some players together. You know, we've built a team. We actually built
we're forming something special.
Role. Yeah, exactly. You know, we're not trying to shoehorn players in like Arnel Hernandez at left wing back or something stupid like that, or Gary Gardner at centre back. You know, it's like we're actually putting players in the right position. We've got a good team that are going to really grind out some great results over the next few months. I'm absolutely certain of it, and we'll start to see the results of it soon, because you know, we just will. I mean, look at that form as well. Look there.
Yeah, and we've got the league table up here just to refresh our memories. I know, obviously, we got a draw yesterday, but you know, we're joint top on points with Wycombe, both on 50 points. We've got a game in hand over them, and we've got 2 over Wrexham. Huddersfield, they've got 2 games in hand as well, haven't they? Same as Blues.
Yeah,
are you concerned about any of those teams?
Huddersfield, maybe. Yeah, I think they've got that most recent championship history, don't they? They obviously came down with us, so I think that they can perhaps pose a bit of a threat. I think the teams like Stockport were top ages ago, weren't they? And they're starting to slide down, weren't they? So like, that's where I can see teams like Wycombe and Wrexham sort of headed. Maybe not out of the playoffs entirely, but I can see Huddersfield starting to pick up again because their form looks great. I mean, like the last 5 games, they're 1-3, drew 2. It's just I can see them get back into the picture. Same with Barnsley as well. Reading, I'm not entirely too sure. I think they can be a bit dodgy here and there. I mean, they've lost 7 games really, so like that's probably not a great thing for them. They they lost more than Stockport. And then maybe even like Mansfield. I mean, like they're a decent side. They might start to pick up towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think for the rest of it, all the other teams we should be beating and starting to beat convincingly as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. But we got Wigan on Saturday. That's going to be entertaining, mate.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It's a good ground.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a bit like
you feel confident,
isn't it? Yeah, I do. I didn't feel confident for yesterday. There wasn't. I felt really unconfident before the start of the game. Then I saw the lineups and I felt a bit more confidence. And then we took the lead. And I was like, okay, we're going to do fine now. And then the second half came around and I thought,
yeah, but from that game, do you feel confident going to Wigan?
Yeah, I do, 100%.
Yeah,
because it's a different atmosphere entirely. We've got a couple of days off. Players can get some rest. It's a massive away end for us as well, Wigan, isn't it? We're selling out kind of similar to Barnsley, if I'm not wrong in thinking.
Yeah.
It's always a good away day. Fans will come out in big voices and everything, so that'll give a massive boost to the players and everything. And I think we should do a real good win there or something. Whether we'll win like 5-0, I don't think so, but like a good 2-0 I'm expecting, because we're just in good run at the moment. We've had a couple of draws, but still in a great run of form, and I think we'll start to pick it up in terms of wins again soon.
Yeah, definitely. So just one quick one as well, mate. I've got this one was what I was going to show you, the lineup builder to pick your ideal players. So I'd love to hear who you pick and play.
Okay.
We'll start with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's got to be Allsop.
Yeah.
Allsop. I feel sorry for Bailey Peacock-Farrell.
Yeah.
I saw him in a petrol station when we come back from one of the game once. That was funny. I just think though, like the thing is with Bailey Peacock-Farrell, he's just made some mistakes. No, he was leaving as we were pulling in. It was quite funny though. Yeah, I just don't think though you can't make mistakes like that on a regular basis. And he brought back in for the game in the trophy against Exeter, and making a mistake from a corner. So I feel like he's even given himself he ain't giving himself the sort of back in to even be like a cup keeper or anything like that. So Allsop all the way for me at the moment. And he's a Blues fan as well. Also.
Yeah, he's a Blues fan. Yeah. Even better, mate. Right on the left.
See, this is the problem. Do I think it's going to be 4 or 5 or 3?
Well, just go with what you think, and I can change it round.
I think I'll go for 3 at the back.
3 at the back.
Yeah.
We'll just put Davies there a minute, and will it let us move him? No.
Is there a little formation thing that is at the top?
Like yes.
Setting? There it is. So I think it'll be 3-5-2. If I'm being honest, 3-5-2. So the 3 centre backs there as they are. I think Bailey, Clara, and Davis will be like that.
Yeah, Cochrane on the left.
I'd go Cochrane left. It's the right hand side for me at the moment. So I was hoping when Scott Wright came on yesterday that he'd show a little bit more than he did, but I suppose he's a little bit injured still, so he might start on the bench. Do I go Laird? I'll go Laird just on the right, just because I think that's what Davis will play. Because I think he's getting back into the team.
There he is. Laird, yeah.
Yeah.
This will be your starting 11.
Yeah. I think Leonard, Paik, and Iwata is the midfield 3.
Yeah. Leonard, where is he there? He's Mark Leonard. Yeah, would you swap them round or?
Yeah, because I think Leonard would go more forward, actually, yeah.
Yeah, in the middle.
That. And then I'm going to go, and this might sound a bit weird, but I'm going to go for Stansfield and Dykes. Even though May started and scored and everything, I think that Lyndon Dykes, when he came on yesterday, actually offered a little bit more going forward in those last few minutes. So that's what I think will happen. And then also, the thing is as well, the choices
There he is.
Lyndon Dykes, there he is. The thing is, as well, the choices you've got off the bench there are mad then. So you've got Alfie May that can come on, you've got Williamson that can come on, you've got Taylor Gardner-Hickman down that right-hand side as well. The back three is really solid, so you can, if one of them gets injured, you can always swap in and out everybody. So, like, you can rotate the team then as well, because I feel like at the moment it's just been a bit like for like in terms of the subs. So if one of the defenders like Clara gets a knock or something like that, then you can take him off, stick another attacker or a midfielder on, and then swap it around into a 4 or something like that, because then you've got options going forward. But then, like, obviously Cochrane comes back more than Ethan Laird, so you can sort of move it around into a 4 and play Bielik at that sort of right back position as well, like we were doing in the Cup a few weeks ago. So I think that'll be the starting 11. The only one I would perhaps maybe change in would be someone like Williamson in for Laird.
It doesn't matter, like, if the players are injured, by the way. This is just like your opinion on the squad, like your ideal starting 11. Like, in an ideal,
I thought this was the starting 11 for against Wigan.
Nah, well, just in general, like, you know, your favourite starting 11. So I mean, you can change it.
Let's do it again then. Let's do my favourite 11.
It's been a fun.
That's what I think will be for the Wigan game. And then we'll do my favourite lineup.
Yeah, come on, do your favourite lineup.
We'll go 4-2-3-1. We'll do 4-2-3-1 formation.
4-2-3-1, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that just looks good. Then it looks proper Blues. I'll go Allsop in goal because I think he's the best one. Right back, I'll go with Gardner-Hickman.
Yeah.
Because I think that's... I just like the guy. I think he's really good. I'll have Clara and Davis as... Oh, actually,
as they are.
Yes, no, I will keep them as they are, actually. And then Cochrane as left back.
Cochrane, where are you, son?
He's at the top, just up there.
He's at the top, is he?
Yeah, 4th one down.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Paikin and Water as the holding midfielders.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
They've just been the best midfield in the whole league by an absolute country mile. I'll then go... this is tricky. That midfield 3.
Go on, son.
I'll give... this is tricky now. I'll go... Stansfield...
But this is what I mean. We're sport for choice, though, aren't we?
I know, yeah, honestly.
Imagine how Davies feels, mate.
Oh, honestly, no wonder he
gets
it. No wonder he's a bit tricky, stuck sometimes. I've got to go Alfie May up top, but then I'll work out the midfield, that 3. I think
I like how Laird. I like how Laird
still sat in attacking midfielder, yeah.
So, who do you want again? Sorry, May.
I'll go Alfie May up top because I think he works well as that sort of lone striker. I'll stick Jay on the right.
Yeah. Laird number 10.
Laird still 10. I'll go Williamson number 10.
Yeah.
And then I'll stick Anderson out on the left.
Yeah. I like it, mate.
Yeah. The shame is as well, like Luke Harris at the start of the season, I honestly thought was going to be like proper, you know, sort of addition for us. He just hasn't really clicked, unfortunately. Because it's a shame because he seems like a really nice kid and everything, but like, it just doesn't click. But I'll go. That's my perfect 11, just because I think the options going forward then look like you blitz them away really. Because I think as well with Jay, like when he's going forward on that right hand side, he can almost form that 2 with May, and then Williamson can come out to the right here, and we can almost play like a bit of a disjointed 4-4-2 when attacking, and then sort of fall back into this when we're defending. But
I like that. If anything I'd change is Stano with May, and I'd take May off just because, well, I like them both. Yeah, it's hard to pick him, but I do like Scott Wright, mate. So, I mean, I'll put him, that'll be my
team as well, yeah. I like that.
That'll be mine.
It's a shame we
I'll be sorry for him at Stockport because
he
didn't get the ball to him, which did he? Like, you know, he's just come back from an injury and stuff. He didn't really get involved in the game just because of how much Stockport were pressing us. But you know, from what we've seen of him this season, mate, I think he's a baller.
Yeah.
And for me, he definitely earned his place to start. Yeah, definitely earned his place to start, in my opinion. So, I mean, that's what I'd go for.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't play 13.
I know.
Play a couple more players. Yeah.
But man, sport for choice, though. You know, the squad we got is phenomenal.
We've got more coming in January as well.
I just think as the weeks go on, something's got to give somewhere. Someone's due a pasting. But, you know, it is a brand new squad. And obviously, Davies' first managerial role. We've got to take all this into consideration. But, I mean, we've just had a look at the stats and he's got a 70% win ratio already.
Yeah, exactly. The guy's doing absolutely fine.
He's been with the big boys, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Like a couple of poor results here and there are always due in seasons. You know, my dad said this in the vlog, like before we even lost a game in the season. He said, like, we are due to lose a game at some point. We can't go undefeated. You know, we're not that type of team just yet. But like when it happens, you know, you just got to roll with it. Really, I think there was actually. I think it must have been the game before we lost to Charlton or something like that. He said that we're due to lose a game, you know, because we just are, you know, every team loses a game each season. But then, like, you know, obviously a couple of bad results and people start to get a little bit nervous. I think it's just nerves, isn't it? I don't think it's their particularly honestly held opinion.
I think it's nerves, but then also, like, everybody sees the game differently. Everybody has different opinions, but then you got to take into consideration as well the last 12 years of watching Blues and how we've all felt, you know, and I think because BSHL had left Blues in such a state, now they weren't even bothered. I think that's why Tom Wagner's came in. You know, we've had the open houses and how much work that they've done, let alone the players that we brought in. You know, and we've got to take all that into consideration. It's not going to be overnight, you know, because we had owners that literally just left the club to run itself, but like obviously it was just going down and down and down as the years were going on. But yeah, we've got to count our blessings, mate. You know, it's going to come. You know,
we'll be back in the Championship next season as well. So like, there'll be teams that like that'll be weird, won't it? Because it'd be like we're spending in League One and we're feeling a bit sorry for ourselves at times, but then like I'm absolutely certain we'll be back in the Championship next season, and that'll be weird as well because it's playing teams like Leeds and, well, providing they go up, but like teams like Preston and teams like Blackburn and those type of teams again. We're seeing them again. It's like, oh yeah, well, I remember how this feels. You probably feel a little bit more confidence after that, you know, thinking that we've won the league hopefully, and then
we're on our way, mate. Blue Nose is watching. Well. We're on our way.
Exactly.
Oh,
like,
Blues focus, Tommy Kelsall, legend. We're on our way, mate.
We just are. I can't
Come on,
see
you blue boys.
not messing this up, you know. I mean, it's just like I can't see us going through the playoffs. I can't see us finishing second. We're going to win the league. I'm absolutely certain of it.
Love it, mate. I love it, son. Love it. But you got to make me a promise, though, mate. We've got to meet up at Wigan. I want to give your dad a cuddle and your brother. I want to get you some beers, mate.
When we went to Wigan last time, there was like a beer festival going over the road, so we went over to that. So I don't know whether that's happening this time. I hope it is because it was bloody brilliant.
What time are you getting there for? Do you get there early with plenty of time so you can walk around and just not rush around, or are you like a last minute kind of thing?
Well, we've been last minute in the last few weeks because honestly, like the car broke down on the Bristol Rovers game, so we had to get the fucking train down. They got us there 15 minutes after the game had already kicked off.
So the car broke down. You left the car to go to Blues.
Yeah.
That is dedication, mate. Fantastic.
Messing around, sitting at home. We're going down to the Blues. We made the plans.
Blues, mate.
And then the other day as well. Fuck that car, indeed. Honestly, shite. But I think what was the other game? Was it Blackpool the other day as well? Like we got there and like about half an hour to go or something like that. But honestly, the traffic down on the M6 is just like horrific, just because some lunatics gone and broke a couple of indicators or something like that, and blocked the whole M6 on the way down, causing me to sit there and wonder if we were going to get there on time. So yeah, hopefully we do get there usually like an hour or two before the game kicks off and everything.
Yeah,
so
man.
We can just have a wander around and have a couple of drinks and that.
I hope I see you, mate. Honestly, really do, man. It'd be good to see you and your dad, your brother, like.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll meet up. We'll get each other on each other's vlogs.
But hopefully, mate, we get 3 points. More importantly,
100%.
Key predictions in there, mate, before we end the podcast. What you reckon? Goal scorers predictions.
Goal scorers and predictions. I will go 3-1 Blues. I think Wigan might even score first. That'll give us a bit of a nervy start.
Yeah.
And then I think Jay Stansfield will score to equalise pretty soon afterwards. I reckon then second half, Lyndon Dykes back post header across goal will give Jay Stansfield an easy tap in for 2-1 Blues. And then I'll go for I'll go for a bit of a weird one as well. I'll go for a Clara header. I think 3-1 Blues, and then we probably could have got a 4 at the end and not get one. But yeah, that's my very thorough prediction for the game.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Blues.
2-1 Blues, yeah.
2-1 Blues, yeah. I reckon Stano's going to score both of them. Well, I hope he does anyway.
I think it'll be a bit of an opposite reaction to how the game went on New Year's Day. So I feel like we started well but finished really badly. So I feel like it'll be the opposite. I think we'll start really badly, but I think we'll finish really strong. So that's the way I can see it going on the weekend, yeah.
Have you got a message for the Blue Noses, mate? To
Happy
end
New
it.
Year, you beautiful buggers.
Up the fucking
Stay
Blues.
positive, up the Blues, and just remember that we'll be in the Championship next season, so don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's going to be all right. All right?
Superb,
No,
mate, I
but
love it.
seriously, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all have a lovely one. It's going to be a great year, 2025. And yeah, up the Blues. It's going to be a great year.
Superb, mate. And thanks for making time for me, mate. It's such short notice as well, because we literally just done this like within half an hour of messaging each other, didn't we? Fair play,
Absolutely,
mate.
yeah. I'm off to watch the darts at the pub later on, so that'll be good. Hopefully, Luna
Superb,
wins and make for a good final. Hopefully, versus Van Gerwen or something like that.
Quality, mate. Right. Keep right on. Up the fucking
Blues.
Blues, mate.
Keep right on, man.
See you later. Keep right on.
Who's that? Me? Oh, yeah, you. Sorry. Hello. Wherever we go, we go.
Tony and Dad.
7-0 now, I'm here. Best fucking habits.